got here just in time. Let's go. First day back in Tokyo, you know where we're going. Nakano Broadway, the mecca for all vintage watch collectors. We'll do the round of the shops, see what we find. Hopefully we grab a deal. Nakano Broadway. I've lost count of how many times I've been around here. Located only one stop from Shinjuku, this 1960s mall is always the best place to start your Tokyo watch hunt, to scope out the market. Prices are definitely on the rise, but I just love to come here and see what I can find. Today, this is our first stop. Located on the first floor of Nakano Broadway, Firekids is usually referred to as the most loved watch store in Tokyo. Here we'll find a nice selection of vintage Japanese watches from brands like Seiko, Grand Seiko, Citizen, and Orient. Right as you enter on the right, you will find their Seiko displays. Their selection is really good. These are some coveted 1960 divers, and next to them, the 1964 monopushers made for the Tokyo Olympics. These are also really interesting. Seiko crowns and Lord Marvels from the 50s and 60s. These were the first Japanese luxury watches ever made, and they led to the creation of Grand Seiko. Speaking of, they have quite a few early Grand Seikos and even funkier 70s models, including some really funky Seiko Vanacs. Let's try a few Seiko pieces, but just note, Firekids has a lot more to offer, including Rolex, Omega, and other great Swiss brands. We have one of my favorite Seikos ever. So this is the Seiko 62 Mas, probably one of the most loved Seiko divers ever made. It was originally created for an expedition to the Antarctic, but it was not finished in time, so it was released shortly thereafter as just as a regular watch. It's just a really sleek, beautiful diver. I've been wanting one for a long time. Unfortunately, they're sort of one-day Seiko Diver Grail, so prices have been a bit skyrocketing. The 62 Mas goes for currently 680,000 yen, which tax-free should translate to around 4,000, It's in really good condition given the age. It's from 1965. This is a bit on the higher end of vintage Seiko, of course, but as my favorite diver, I always pick it out and try it when I can. So let's get it on the wrist. It's really beautiful, and the loom is still in great condition as well. The bezel has some scratches, but nothing too terrible. So next up is the Grand Seiko Second. In this model, you're already starting to see Taro Tanaka's grammar of design rules shine through. The angle, the shapes are a bit more rectangular and square, but that's not quite yet there.
Oh, okay.
The Grand Seiko logo on the back. I actually quite prefer these later Grand Seikos as I don't love gold generally in watches. So this Grand Seiko Second comes from around 300,000 yen. I think if you put it tax-free, that's probably around $1,800. Quite a beautiful piece. And lastly, something a little bit more affordable but still stunning. So this is a Seiko Lord Marvel. The Lord Marvel is a very underappreciated line of Seiko. In many ways, the Lord Marvel with the second crown was the precursor of the Grand Seiko First. It was the push for perfection and precision that led to the creation of the Grand Seiko First. This specific model was actually released much later in 1971, but it carries still a lot of the same proportion and aesthetics. And as you know, I don't love date wheels, so I love the fact that it doesn't have a date. Let's put it on the wrist. It's quite cute, no? The Seiko Lord Marvel from 1971 goes for 10% less than this. Yen, which should translate to around $800 US. Really beautiful. Quite a simple piece, but love it. I actually really like it. Like with a black strap, no? It's really clean as well. And now, a quick thank you to our sponsor. You. My mission is to keep this channel independent and unbiased. And your direct contribution can make this possible. If you're in a position to help and you would like to do so, click the join button below for extra perks like behind the scenes, Q&As, and much more. Your support in any form means the world. Thank you. Now, back to the video. We're off to the biggest store in Nakano, a place where I've personally bought quite a few watches over the years. Jackroad is one of the most famous watch stores in all of Tokyo, arguably the most famous. The shop is actually divided on two sides. Over here, you see they have their new section. So this is full of new models from almost every brand in the world, honestly. But on the right side, particularly in the little room there behind, that's their vintage section. That's my favorite room in all of Tokyo. I bought a few watches here, so it's been a great experience. So, let's go. Why do I always say let's go? I need to find another catchphrase. I think that's not a good thing. So we're in the vintage corner of Jackroad, and this specific corner is my favorite section. This is where you find all the off-brands like Croton, Anycar, Wachmann, Gallet. So when I come here, this is what I usually buy. Next to it, you have Omega. This is the Omega section, and you get a lot of different dress watches. Some are quite odd. Let me show you this one. I quite like it. It's a quartz piece, but quite interesting looking. Now let's keep going. You then have the Tudor selection. You have quite a few Submariners. Tudor Submariners are really cherished and almost as collectible as some of the Rolex ones, and some Chronos here as well. In the opposite corner from where we started, we have the Submariner and GMT section with few Explorer as well. And on this thin section, this thin display, we have the rare pieces, as we mentioned before. We have, AP, Vacheron, Patek. It's not what this store really specializes in, but every once in a while you find some really nice pieces. Like here, this is already reserved, but this GSC memo box with a Breguet, numerals at 12 and 6 o'clock is quite something, and not too expensive either. If it was not reserved, I would have thought about it. So here's what we found at Jackroad. First up is a Tudor Big Rose, characterized by the Big Rose at 12 o'clock. There's another version called Small Rose, which sees a small rose placed between the Tudor logo and the 12 o'clock index, but this is the Big Rose variant. So this is an oyster date, and as you know, Tudor is owned by Rolex, so as you can see, the Rolex logo on the crown and on the back of the case. I have to say, this particular piece is in incredible condition. I love the black dial. Truly a classy piece. So if you want a Rolex oyster date and day date, but don't want to spend the money, this is a good option. Let's try it on the wrist. I think it's quite a clean, timeless look. Really beautiful, really simple. The rose at 12 o'clock just adds the little touch. I much prefer it to the Tudor shield that they use nowadays. Very simple but beautiful. So price-wise, this goes for around 270,000 yen, which tax-free equals around 240,000 yen, which should be $1,400? I think, yeah, $1,400, $1,500. Beautiful piece, incredible condition, as you can see from the back. Almost completely untouched. And this is from 1961. Good stuff. Next up, something quite cool. So this is a Zodiac moon phase with calendar and pointer date from 1960. What makes it really cool though, it's the tropical dial. It has developed this very, very even patina on the dial, which makes it look stunning. Tropical dial are a bit of a controversial topic. Some people love them, some people don't, but this specific piece with this very even patina, it's stunning. Let's try now. I actually think I am too pasty white to pull this off, but for someone that can, it's a beautiful watch. Stunning. So, price-wise, let's look what we got. Price-wise, for this 1968 Zodiac Moon Phase, we're looking at 338,000 yen. Tax-free, that's 310. So around $2,000. It's not cheap for a Zodiac, but quite beautiful, quite peculiar. Definitely worth a look. And last, something right up my alley. Bulova, small seconds with brigade numerals. We don't really know when this is from, and I am not a Bulova expert, so I'm not going to pretend like I can tell you everything about it. But besides some light patina on the dial, I don't know if you can see, there's some little dots here and there. It's really stunning. There's this stepped case, very peculiar lugs. It's quite thin, as you can see, and brigade numerals, which you know I love. Really stunning. Beautiful. So, what are we looking at price-wise? Price-wise, this Bulova comes at 168,000 yen, around 150,000 yen tax-free, which is $1,000. Again, you can probably find similar things for cheaper on eBay, but part of the advantage of buying it at a shop like Jackroad is that you get the guarantee that they've been looked at and they are in good condition, functioning. So, a bit of a trade-off, but I particularly like it. It's like a little Calatrava with brigade numerals. These were the watches that I looked at for myself. But Jackroad is a jack of all trades. They also have incredible selections of both Rolex and Cartier. We will discuss these amazing pieces in another video.
Cute.
Right around the corner from Jackroad, you will find Universal Value, a little corner store that primarily focuses on Omega Speedmasters. They don't allow filming inside, but all of their pieces are displayed on the outside. On this occasion, they had some pretty cool speedies, both professional and reduced. But weirdly enough, what caught my eye was on the bottom of the side display, where they had this, a Grand Seiko SBGK 017 at a really good price. Really interesting. I love the SBGK line. I will keep it in mind. Kamekichi has a bit of everything, but they really shine for their Rolex and Grand Seiko selection. So, just as you enter on the right, they have their Grand Seiko selection, which I think is one of the best in the city. Come see. Here on the top, for example, we have a Lake Suwa model, the SLGA 019. One of my personal favorite. Here you have the Green and Night Birch. Two also very beautiful models. And if you go down here, you get the SBGA 443, also known as the Shunbun. This is Grand Seiko's most popular modern model. Next to it, there is a Snowflake. You should also know Kamekichi as a separate showroom on the side, filled with high-end and rare watches, but they tend to be a bit out of my price range. And for today we are done. It was our first day, so not quite time to commit to a purchase yet. We'll be back, exploring the amazing watches Tokyo has to offer. But for today, no deal. Just kidding. There was one watch from this episode that I couldn't get out of my mind, so the following day I went back to Nakano in a hurry for this. The SBGK 017 without box and papers from Universal Value. Let me buy it, bring it home, and I will tell you all about it. This is the 2022 Grand Seiko SBGK 017, also known as the Nanbu Tekki, due to its distinct dial texture inspired from the homonymous Edo period ironware. It has these little concentric black scales that catch the light beautifully. The SBGK is part of the Dresser Grand Seiko Elegance line, and it features what they call the Thin Dress Series case design, a smaller and thinner case measuring 38mm wide and 11.6mm thick. The lugs also round off really gently, allowing the watch to hug the wrist nicely. It is powered by the manual caliber 9S63, and it features a small seconds register and a 3-day power reserve indicator. The 9-link bracelet is also quite stunning, and it comes with a deploy and clasp decorated by the Gran Seiko logo. I've actually owned an SBGK before, the limited edition 005, but I found its lack of bracelet and its gold Gran Seiko logo incongruous with its design, so I eventually sold it. The 009 was also on my radar for a long time, but its grey dial always felt a bit flat compared to other Gran Seiko dials. This SBGK 017 hits the spot for me. It is interesting without being excessive, and I think for $3,600 it was a pretty good deal. What do you think? Remember to like and subscribe for more watch-ons and guides.